This is the rule because I made it. Well, that didn't really work for me. I kept asking why. Hello teammates and welcome back to Teaching with Tenia. I would love for you to join and click the subscribe button and be a part of our educational team. In this video, I am showing you guys some of the beginning of the school year activities that I did so that you can either do them next year, or if you are going to a classroom, student teaching, whatever, and you just want to get to know your kids, some of these activities I hope will be beneficial to you. So let's get right into it. On the first day of school, I had this one out. This is my Life in app. A lot of students love technology nowadays, whether it's TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is. By the way, if you're not following me on Instagram, then go ahead and follow me at Teaching with Tenia. I really enjoy seeing my students do this because it's really open-ended. You can see a lot about students' personality and their life and who was important to them, like whether family, sports, whatever it was that was important to them, they were able to showcase it here. And then also you saw the students that were perfectionists, like, oh, this line's not here, this line's not here. You could tell a lot about a student by just the way they color this. It's almost like a blank canvas, but it gives them direction. And with this, I also allow them to share it in the circle if they wanted to. Of course, it's the first day of school, everybody's trying to get to know each other, but that's why I like this one. Here's one that one student was about to draw. Of course, they wanted to outline like it was a little tablet or a little phone, but some things that she liked, some things about herself that she wanted to share about the class, and things that really meant something to her, like her flag and where she's from. I feel like more accepted to share about wherever they may be. But I like this also because it's not writing the first day of school, like the students just got off a break. Having students get ready to academics is just not the best thing. So I like that with this activity, it kept them quiet for sure, but it's not like busy work, like we were gonna share with the class, but also I had time to do other things like take attendance, have students say where they're going to put their school supplies. And on the first day of school, you're just being pulled in so many different directions. So to have something quiet and where students could be creative was great. I'm not sure if I did it on the first day of school or the second day of school, but I can't really remember. But I did like this one. It's basically like a summer bingo. Here, I'll let you guys see it, where students got a free space, of course, like regular bingo, and students got to say where they went over the summer and just talk about some fun things that they did. Like, did they go to the beach, to a friend's house, went fishing, rode a horse, traveled out of state, learned a new skill, went to a wedding, got a pet, like all these different things that students could have done over the summer. I particularly like this one because it gets students moving around, talking and interacting with each other, their new classmates who they're gonna have for the rest of the school year. So I do like this one as well. And let me tell you just a little caveat with this one. Make sure you explain the rules, because you can see like some of my students got a little competitive because they're like, no, this isn't bingo, this isn't bingo, this isn't bingo. Like, at the end of the day, it's all bingo. So just clarify that. I will do that next year as I give this, if I give this again. Yeah, I'm not sure where I got this from, but I'll try my best to link everything down below. Some things I got from our partner teacher, some things I got from my student teacher, my whole student teacher, and just resources from different things that I liked and I just tucked away because I knew I would eventually have my own classroom. So I wanted to be able to use these things as well. The next one that I do have for you guys is the All About Me #Selfie. Again, this is more like a Twitter, Instagram type of technology thing that students should be able to do. But the thing with this one is that students may have to write, and it is still pretty good. I'll probably do this like the second or third day of school because you can get to see their writing skills and see where there are some learning gaps or where students are just a fly higher. So students get to draw themselves, they still get to be creative, but also now they have to explain or describe whatever they drew right here, and then they can use their favorite hashtag, whatever their ethnicity is, whatever their hometown is, whatever grade they're in. Just use hashtags like we use them on Instagram or anything else with social media. That's another reason I like this one. This next one is more like a questionnaire where I truly get to know the students. And this one has a lot of questions on it. This tell me about you sheet. And of course you could take out questions, put questions in that you like, but the directions are to answer every question honestly, because this can actually inform your instruction, how you discipline, what you give examples in your content of, and just things like, do you have a brother or sister at home? Who takes you to school? Do you bring your lunch? Just through planning simple things throughout the day. Then also who are your friends in class, because of seating, sometimes they just like to sit by their friends and you don't really know who are best friends and who likes to chat all class, so that is good to know there. And then also some activities that they're involved in, like they may be in piano or things that you may not expect a student to be in. I like to put it on here so that they know and you know. And then what is your favorite thing about school? I love that question because even if it's not your subject, you can sometimes differentiate by hobbies, groups, and things that they like to do from this paper. And then also things they like to do, their favorite class last year, and some of their goals in life. Like I love asking kids what they want to be, so I can see like where their mindset is or what they've been exposed to. Some students only know like the common jobs like a firefighter, police officer, vet, all those things that are usually on that poster. If you know what I'm talking about, then if you know, you know. Comment down below if you know what poster I'm talking about. There's this poster that are in most classrooms, but they don't talk about the tech jobs, the human resource jobs, and just seeing themselves in representation in things that may not have been jobs a long time ago, especially with social media, being a YouTuber, things like that. It definitely gets their mind aware. So I like to see where their head is at. They want to be like a YouTuber, or they're aware that they can make money outside of going to college, because to be honest, not everybody's going to college. But that's my little tangent with that. Last but not least, I have my class rules. Usually about the second or third day of school, I like to implement class rules so that we're all on the same page and everybody knows what is expected of them. I try not to let it go too far into the week. Before our class rules, we made them together, but during morning work that day that we did make the class rules, I had students give their input, and it's a little faded because of the copy machine. For this one, the directions are to create a class rules for our classroom. What is the rule and the reason? I really like that this sheet had a reason to it, because I feel like sometimes we can make students we think that we have control over classroom because students are compliant, they're doing whatever we ask them to do. And to be honest, that may not be the case, because learning looks different for a bunch of different groups of students, and I don't want my rules to hinder their learning in such a way that is not cohesive to them. Some of them are like, at least let us have like a 5-minute start the lesson to talk, or they just want to get their voice out and doing a bunch of fun things, but also it has to be a give and take. I think I talked about that in my first week of school video. If you haven't checked that one out, go ahead. But like, I don't want my classroom to be so strict, full of rules. Well, yes, we do have rules and things we need to abide by. Let's also have agreements so that we can be on the same common ground, and also let them know the reasoning behind the rules. I found that once students know like why they're doing what they're doing, they're more likely to follow that rule. And when I was little, I didn't like following rules either, so I completely understand. But I have a rule or a common suggestion for student safety that when you get up and get in line, you need to push in your chair. And then one day, was it this week or last week? I forget. But it was one student who didn't push in his chair, and I'm like, make sure you push in your chair, like that's not safe. We need to make sure our chairs are pushed in, right? And he was like, why is that not safe? And in their minds, they don't really think about this stuff. So I was like, I could have like gotten an attitude, was like, no, get in line, all this other stuff. But I'm like, taking the time to hear kids out and take their questions seriously, I feel like really helped him understand that if your chair is out, like somebody could trip, fall, do whatever on it. And it clicked for him like, oh wow, this is why we do this. And I feel like the reasoning is so important. And as a kid, I hated when adults were like, this is the rule because I made it. Well, that didn't really work for me. I kept asking why. But long story short, I was able to explain to him like why we pushed in our chair. And he just pushed his chair and got in line. And that was the end of that. And it was just like, just a little curiosity. I feel like sometimes teachers see or view kids questioning the system or asking questions is like a threat to them, but they just genuinely want to know. So I can rant all day about this, but I hope you guys are able to use some of these activities or create a variation of them on your own. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a great year, and comment down below how your year is going. I would love to know. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below. I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace.